As tensions continue to rise across the South China Sea, the Philippines has emerged as one of the most active maritime powers working to strengthen its naval defenses. A key symbol of this transformation is the new Miguel Malvar-class frigate, designed and built in South Korea, representing not only a leap in naval capability for Manila, but also a deepening of the strategic partnership between Seoul and Manila. With the first two vessels, BRP Miguel Malvar and BRP Diego Silang, entering service in 2025, this program illustrates how South Korea's naval industry is directly shaping the balance of power in Southeast Asia. The Miguel Malvar-class is a product of the Horizon 2 phase of the Armed Forces of the Philippines Modernization Program, which aims to transform the country's outdated fleet into a credible regional deterrent. Built by Hyundai Heavy Industries, these ships are derived from South Korea's HDF 3200 design, a compact but powerful multi-role frigate optimized for operations in contested waters. Each ship is approximately 116 meters in length, with a full load displacement of around 3,100 tons. The ships are equipped with a modern combat management system, a three-dimensional phased array radar, a 76mm main gun, and launchers for both anti-ship and surface-to-air missiles. A helicopter deck and hangar support operations for the AW-159 Wildcat, giving the class valuable anti-submarine and surveillance capabilities. The first vessel, BRP Miguel Malvar, was commissioned in early 2025, while her sister ship, BRP Diego Silang, was delivered in September of the same year. Both ships are part of a broader vision to build a coherent and modern frigate fleet capable of securing the Philippines' maritime approaches and exclusive economic zone. Discussions are now underway between Seoul and Manila for an additional pair of ships under a second production batch, potentially increasing the class to 4 units by the end of the decade. This expansion aligns with the Philippines' Horizon 3 modernization phase, which calls for a sustained increase in defense spending through the early 2030s. The Miguel Malvar-class program goes far beyond a simple purchase. It represents an expanding web of industrial and military cooperation between South Korea and the Philippines. Hyundai Heavy Industries has not only provided the design and production capacity, but also contributed to training Filipino engineers, technicians, and naval officers in shipbuilding and operations. There are also discussions about partial technology transfer that could allow final assembly or maintenance to take place at the Subic Bay shipyard in Luzon, a once dormant naval hub now reviving as a center for regional maritime logistics and defense industry development. For Seoul, this marks a strategic success, expanding its defense industry's reach across the Indo-Pacific while cultivating long-term partners who rely on Korean technology and logistics. This industrial connection carries clear geopolitical weight. South Korea's approach differs from that of major Western arms exporters. It focuses on affordability, partnership, and technology sharing rather than political leverage. This makes Korean defense systems appealing to Southeast Asian states seeking modernization without dependency. For the Philippines, cooperation with South Korea offers reliable access to modern equipment and an alternative to the long and often politicized procurement processes tied to Western suppliers. It also enhances interoperability with other Korean origin systems already in service, such as the FA-50 light combat aircraft, which form the backbone of the Philippine Air Force. In operational terms, the Miguel Malvar-class frigates are designed to be the central nodes of the Philippine Navy's growing blue water ambitions. The ships are versatile enough to perform anti-surface warfare, air defense, and limited anti-submarine warfare missions, while also serving as flagships for task groups operating in the West Philippine Sea. BRP Miguel Malvar is expected to be based in Palawan, close to the Spratly Islands, where it can project power and provide surveillance coverage. BRP Diego Silang is likely to operate near the Luzon Corridor and the Scarborough Shoal region, two of the most contested maritime zones in the South China Sea. These deployments will give the Philippines the ability to monitor and respond to incursions more effectively than ever before. The arrival of these new frigates also coincides with a broader pattern of increased multilateral naval activity. In 2025, the Philippines conducted joint maritime drills with the United States, Japan, and Australia, and South Korea has been quietly expanding its participation in regional security exercises. Seoul and Manila have also launched a bilateral naval training framework, including anti-submarine drills and crew exchanges, signaling an intention to move from transactional defense ties toward sustained operational cooperation. Each time a Korean-built frigate sails under the Philippine flag in contested waters, it sends a dual message that Manila is taking its maritime defense seriously and that Seoul is becoming a credible defense partner across Asia. The strategic implications are significant. For the Philippines, the Miguel Malvar-class frigates provide not only hardware, but also a foundation for doctrinal development. They enable longer patrols, better sensor integration, and more credible deterrence against gray zone operations conducted by rival powers. For South Korea, these vessels are both an export success and a geopolitical tool, extending Korean influence into a vital maritime corridor that connects the East China Sea, South China Sea, and Indian Ocean. While neither country frames this partnership as directed against any specific actor, the underlying context is unmistakable. China's growing maritime assertiveness has made cooperation among like-minded states not only desirable, but necessary. Financially, the program reflects the Philippines' growing willingness to invest in its defense. Each Miguel Malvar-class frigate costs roughly $350 to $400 million United States dollars, depending on configuration and weapons package. This is a substantial increase compared to the earlier Jose Rizal-class frigates, which were priced around $300 million United States dollars each. Yet the higher cost brings proportional improvements in combat capability and endurance. With a projected lifespan of 30 years, these ships represent not just capital assets, but an enduring component of Manila's maritime security architecture. The long-term prospects of the Miguel Malvar program extend beyond ships. Discussions have begun about integrating Korean-made coastal radar networks, underwater sensors, and missile systems into the Philippines' command and control structure. These would enhance situational awareness across the archipelago and provide a unified maritime domain picture, something the country has long struggled to achieve. The partnership thus evolves from hardware acquisition toward a comprehensive defense ecosystem, linking shipyards, logistics bases, and training centers. For South Korea, this cooperation is a test case for its broader Indo-Pacific strategy. Seoul seeks to position itself as a security provider rather than merely a regional stakeholder. Its growing defense exports to Poland, Indonesia, and now the Philippines illustrate how industrial strength is being converted into strategic influence. In Manila's case, South Korea's contribution is not just about selling ships, but about building resilience against coercion and ensuring freedom of navigation in one of the world's most contested seas. In conclusion, the Miguel Malvar-class frigates embody more than steel and firepower. They represent a convergence of industrial ambition, strategic necessity, and regional cooperation. Each launch from a Korean shipyard, each patrol through the choppy waters of the West Philippine Sea, marks a step toward a new security reality in which middle powers shape their own destinies. The partnership between South Korea and the Philippines stands as a model of pragmatic defense collaboration, grounded in technology, sustained by shared interests, and driven by the recognition that maritime security in Asia's future will depend not on distant powers, but on the alliances forged among its own shores.